And then with the exhale, think about letting go of tension, pain, or discomfort. And then go ahead and set an intention for your practice today. So maybe that's around just connection with others, supporting another person in your life. Or maybe there is something else that is more applicable to you at this time. So bringing that intention into your heart, breathing deeply into it. And then we'll take 2 more cleansing breaths. So inhaling through the nose, big heavy sigh through the mouth. And we'll do that one more time, inhaling through the nose, big heavy sigh through the mouth. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and start to come up into tabletop. And then just begin to shift your weight towards your fingertips and then back towards your heels. So kind of alternating that weight shift. As you shift forward to your hands, think about spreading the fingers nice and wide and kind of feeling some length in the forearms. As you exhale, let your sit bones drop back towards your heels, lengthening the side bodies, stretching across the low back, opening into the hips. Just doing that a few times at your own pace. As you start to develop some warmth in the spine, maybe you come more into cobra pose. So kind of dropping the front of the hips down. And then as you exhale, shifting back into that extended child's pose position. If that does not feel good for you, you can feel free to start to move into just cat and cow. But just starting to bring some warmth into the spine. And I want you to pay attention to here, thinking about what your head and neck is doing as you move into these different positions or asanas. So as you inhale and drop the hips forward, maybe lifting your gaze up, lifting your chin, kind of extending through your neck. And then as you exhale and drop back, kind of allowing your head to come to neutral or drop your chin down towards your chest. We'll do that about 3 more times at your own pace. So inhale, cobra or cow. Exhale, cat or extended child's pose. 2 more times at your own pace. Feel free to hold either of these poses if you need a little bit of extra time. And remember, you're making the practice your own, so whatever feels good for your body today. And then come back up to that neutral spine position in tabletop and go ahead and step your right foot forward into low lunge. And if it feels good, you can shift your weight forward and back a couple of times. Otherwise, keep your hands on either side of the foot. So you're framing the foot with your hands. Knee over the ankle on that front leg. We'll keep the left arm left hand on the floor, elbow soft. Inhale and reach your right hand back. And then turn and look back at it. So you're rotating, you're looking back. Good, then sweep that arm up towards the ceiling. Take your gaze upward. And then move the shoulder, big circular motions, kind of in a backwards direction. Avoiding any pain or discomfort. And then sweeping that arm in a forward direction. And then inhale the arm up to the ceiling. Walk the hands up your front leg. And then exhale into low lunge, once again settling into that knee over ankle position with the front leg lifting your gaze. Take a breath in. As you exhale, twist to the right. That front hand, your left hand, can go ahead and come on the outside of that right knee, reaching your right arm back. If it's available to you, reaching for the instep of the foot, opening up into the front of that left thigh. And just taking a couple of breaths here. So if you're not comfortable in that quad stretch position, you can just let the top of the foot be down. Good, and then as you exhale, release the foot if you grabbed it, bring your trunk back to center. Inhale, both arms up to the ceiling. So palms are gonna be up towards the sky, and then gently tip to the right. So you're stretching into the front side of that left hip as well as the side body. Good, coming back to center, deep breath in, palms to the sky. As you exhale, release the hands down. Go ahead and step that right leg back to tabletop. Couple of cycles of cat and cow at your own pace. And then when you're ready, back to a neutral spine, belly slightly inward. We'll step the left foot forward, low lunge. Just like you did on the first side, just start to shift your weight front to back slightly. And then we'll keep the right elbow soft, planting that right hand, belly slightly in. As you inhale, sweep the left arm back, look at it. And then sweep that arm up towards the ceiling, gaze is up. Micro bend in the right elbow. And then start to roll your arm back. So big arm circles in the backwards direction. And then forwards direction. And again, avoiding any pain or discomfort. So if you have shoulder issues, just keep the circle small. Sweeping that arm back up towards the ceiling, looking at it. And then as you exhale, sweep your body up or walk your hands up that front thigh. Settle into the front leg, low lunge, lifting your gaze. Pressing the front of that right hip forward, taking a breath in. As you exhale, turning and twisting to the left. Opening that left hand. Breathing. As it's available to you, you might grab the instep of your back foot. Keeping your heart rotating towards the left wall. You can toe heel that front leg out a little bit more for better balance. If grabbing that foot is not available to you, don't worry about it. Slowly releasing that foot down, rotating back towards the center. Sweep both arms up again, settle into that front leg. Inhale, press your palms up towards the ceiling, lift your gaze. Exhale, take a little side bend to the left. Maybe even turning your chin down and looking down towards the floor. Spread the toes wide on your front foot to give you more stability. Inhale, palms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your left foot back to tabletop. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. So sit bones are gonna lift up and back. Curl your toes under. And just start to pedal out the feet. So pedaling out your feet, start to feel some length in the back of the legs. Take a moment to check in with yourself here. And just kind of see how things feel as you come into your first down dog today. Maybe nodding your head yes, or shaking it no, just to release tension in the neck. Inviting the elbow creases to turn towards each other. Palms to spread nice and wide. So you're grounding down through your hands and feet. So feel free to either move a little bit in down dog or find stillness, whatever feels good for you. There's no right or wrong. So just do what works for your body today. As you're in down dog, I invite you to reconnect with your intention that you set for the practice today. And just take time to notice how you feel at this moment. On an inhale, go ahead and float your shoulders over your hands and come into plank. Press away from the mat, so you're activating the middle part between the shoulder blades. Top of the head is forward, navel is in. Think about pulling the inner thighs together. Sending energy out through the heels and the top of your head. Good, as you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders over the hands, plank pose. If it's available to you, side arm balance on the right. So rotating over to your right side, floating the left arm up, staggering or stacking your feet. Perfectly fine to come down to your forearm or your knees. Good. As you exhale, take that left arm, bring it back down to the mat just briefly. And then inhale, sweep it back up, opening to the left wall. Micro bend in that right elbow. As you exhale, come back to plank. Lining up heels towards the back wall, top of the head towards the front wall, belly in. Take a breath in. Exhale to downward facing dog. On your inhale, plank pose. Press into that mid-back. As you exhale, rotate to your left hand for side arm balance. Right arm floats up towards the ceiling, micro bend in the left elbow. Hips are high, so reaching that right side of your pelvis up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, tap that right hand back to the mat. And then inhale, float it back up. Opening your heart to the right. As you exhale, plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Looking forward towards the top edge of your mat. Go ahead and walk forward. Come into a generous forward fold towards the top third or so of your mat. And just let your upper body hang here. Generously bending your knees. Feeling some length into the low back, the back of the neck. Let your fingertips dangle towards the floor. Bring your feet in a little bit closer, so maybe they're just about an inch or two apart, parallel to each other. Sink your hips low. Bring your hands to heart center and come into Ukitasana, chair pose. So when you come into chair, slight tuck through the tailbone, belly in, chest lifts, and just look straight ahead. Left arm to the outside of the right knee. Inhale the right arm back. Rotate gently to the right. Good. Inhale, chair, hands to heart, belly in. Exhale, right hand to the outside of the left knee. Reach your left arm back, looking at it. Inhale, hands to heart, and then bring those arms to shoulder height or float them up. Belly is in, tail is tucked. Feel the activation in your legs as you exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Press into your feet, take your time, come all the way up to stand. As you come to stand, pedal out those feet. On an inhale, come to standing mountain pose. Palms forward, broadening across the collarbones. Think about lifting the top of your head up towards the ceiling, and you're still going to engage through that low belly. So you're going to tuck the tailbone under, pull the navel in towards the spine, gazing straight ahead, and just notice how you feel in standing. And then bring your feet to touch. On an inhale, sweep your arms up, take a little back bend. As you exhale, swan dive, forward fold, leading with your heart. Inhale, lift up halfway to a flat back. Belly is in. Exhale, forward fold with a generous knee bend. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Look up, little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweeping up, little back bend. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Think about drawing your shoulder blades in and down your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press all the way through the feet. Reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good, feet are to touch. Inhale, come into chair pose. So hands can be at heart center. You can sweep your arms up. I want you to think about shifting the weight back towards your heels, and if it's available to you, even try lifting up the toes. So you're going to ground down through the balls of your feet and your heels and try to have the weight off of your toes. And just pausing there, sinking a little bit lower as it's available to you. Feel all four corners of each foot. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Let your toes relax. Inhale, lift up to a flat back. Glide the shoulder blades in and down. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step it back to plank. Breathe in, set your knees down. Exhale, chaturanga, low push-up. Release to your tummy. Inhale, locust variation. So you can float your arms or arms and legs. Opening your heart. Exhale, hands to the mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Rise. Hips are square to the front, gaze is lifted, tops of the shoulders relaxed. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank. Breathe in, knees to the mat. Exhale, hug those elbows in, chaturanga. Release to your tummy. Inhale, locust. Reach those fingertips back for your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Soft taps of the shoulders. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank. Decide for this vinyasa if you'd like to stay on your toes or come to your knees. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, locust, cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. Looking forward, walk or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. See if you can lift those toes. Shift the weight back towards your heels. Tuck the tail. Exhale, mountain pose. Good. Pause in mountain. See how you feel. If it's available to you, I want you to try keeping your toes lifted whenever you can through that sun salutation B. So from mountain pose, inhale to chair. Exhale, forward fold, keeping those toes lifted. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, release your toes, step back to plank. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it forward. Warrior one. Rise. Good. Adding on. Breathing in, grounding down through that front and back foot. As you exhale, warrior three, sweep the arms back. So shifting onto that front foot, back toes point towards the floor. So lots of attention to the feet today. So think about turning the left foot to point towards the floor, flexing your lifted leg, foot. Breathing. Good, we're gonna release that lifted leg and take a prayer twist to the right. So hands to heart, prayer twist. To the right, you can set that back heel down or keep it lifted up, it doesn't matter. Think about pressing your heart to the right wall. Good. Inhale, warrior one. Spread those toes nice and wide. Maybe lift them up on that front foot. Exhale, hands to the mat. Plank. Breathe in. Exhale, low push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. This is a good spot to take a breather. So if you need to drop into child's pose or another resting pose of your choice, please do. Otherwise, another check-in point. We're going to do those same series of poses on the second side. When you're ready, making your way back to down dog, if you took a break. On an inhale, left leg high. Point and reach through that foot. Exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Second side. Soft tops of the shoulders, you're reaching through the fingertips. Lift those toes on your left foot, spread them wide. Breathe in. Exhale, warrior three, sweep the arms back. So toes on the back leg, point towards the floor, shoulder blades pressed together and down the back. Belly is in. Focal points are helpful. One more breath in. As you exhale, release the lifted leg, prayer twist. To the left, back knee stays straight. You're shining your chest towards that left wall. Pause. Keep the activation in the back knee. Back knee stays straight, knee crease towards the ceiling. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, looking forward, I invite you to step your left foot forward, and then we're gonna turn into a wide leg stance. So step your left foot forward, take your legs the length of the mat, and turn your toes slightly in. Come into a wide leg forward fold. So you can walk your legs out pretty wide here, walk your feet out pretty wide. I know oftentimes we don't have blocks around us, but you could also use a chair or really any type of object that can kind of lift the ground up for you a little bit. And put your hands there. You might also find it grounding to place your hands on your shins or towards your ankles. And we're going to ground down once again through all four corners of each foot. And maybe play with shifting your weight toes to heels a little bit. So you're starting to appreciate some length in the low back and the back of the legs. Relax the head and neck. Good. If it's available to you, let your hands come down to the floor. Walk them out in front of you and inhale to a flat back. So this would be another place for a chair or another prop, so you're lifting the floor up to you. Top of the head is forward. Shift the weight slightly back onto the heels. So once again, feeling that length through the back of the legs. Good, one more breath in. As you exhale, forward fold. Modify your hand or arm position as you need to. And then we'll bend into the hips and knees and just start to shift your weight from right to left here. So we're going to come into Skandasana or another hip opening pose. So just shift your weight from side to side here. And then we'll bring our weight over onto the right leg. Two choices that you have. You can bring both hands over to that right thigh. So this is going to give you a good inner thigh stretch here. You can point and flex. the left leg, whatever feels good for you. You can try to keep that outer edge of your foot down. If you have more flexibility in your hip and knee, you can come all the way over that right leg up onto the ball of the foot. And then same thing, you can point and flex the foot on the straight leg. If you want more of a balance challenge in either of those positions, you can bring the hands to heart, or you can float the arms up. So pick your option here, and we're gonna settle into some stillness for about 3 breath cycles. So whatever feels good for your body. Belly slightly in, relax the face. Good, as you exhale, release the hands down, and then we'll alternate shifting our weight left to right again. So a couple of times, left to right. And then we'll go on to side 2. So now shifting your weight to the left. Hands can come to the thigh, chest up, belly in. Again, see what you'd like to do with that right foot and ankle. Or if it's available to you, deep knee bend, resting on the ball of that left foot with a long spine. Heel is lifted here on the left foot. Hands can come to heart center, or you can reach them up. It's a little bit of a balance pose, so it might feel different side to side here. Belly is in. Find your modification or your option for your Skandasana, and then we'll stay for 3 breaths. Relaxing your face. Good, as you exhale, slowly release your hands down. Shift your weight side to side again a few more times, just letting go of any remaining tension. And then go ahead and take a seat in the middle part of your mat. And as you take a seat, bring the soles of the feet together. Let your knees fall out to the side and slide your heels in. Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. Spine is lengthened. You can grab at the ankles or whatever it feels good for you. Just kind of allowing your knees to relax out to the side, opening into the groin, the inner thighs again. And then as you exhale, release, send your legs out long, staff pose. So your hands are gonna come underneath your shoulders here. Press the knee creases towards the floor and pull your toes back. I also want you to think about pushing into your hands. So it's almost like you're lengthening your neck by letting your shoulders fall away from your earlobes. So activating around the shoulder blades, around the legs, almost like you're gonna lift your butt gently off the mat. As you exhale, release, step your left foot in, cross it over the right leg, give it a hug, and then take a twist to the left. So drawing that crossed leg to the opposite shoulder, feeling some length into the outer hip and glute area, still pulling the toes back on your right foot. Good, as you exhale, come back to center. Keep your leg as it is, twist the other way. Good, exhale, release back to center, staff pose. Both legs out long, press into the hands, lift your heart. Elbow activating around the shoulders, knee creases towards the floor. Good, as you exhale, release, step your right foot in, cross it over, hugging that knee in and across your chest, keeping your spine long. Take a twist to the right. Left foot stays flexed, so that foot on the straight leg is still active. Twisting, turning and looking back over the right shoulder. Keeping your spine long, breathing in to lengthen, using your exhale to twist through the spine. And then releasing with your exhale, go ahead and take an easy counter twist to side 2. As you exhale, slowly release back to center. Go ahead and put the soles of your feet on your mat. Float the palms up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. As you exhale, I want you to try to lower your trunk slowly for a count of 8. Once your shoulder blades are on the mat, take a full body stretch. So arms reach up overhead, toes reach out, full body stretch. And then as you exhale, go ahead and pull one or both knees into the chest and just start to rock gently from side to side, massaging out your low back. And then let your arms be down at your sides. If you have a block or a rolled towel, we're gonna set it right underneath the sacrum for an unsupported legs up the wall. If you don't have a prop or a block or a rolled towel, then arms will just be at your side, shoulder blades tucked under you, and you're just gonna extend the legs up towards the ceiling one at a time. So we'll stay here for about 8 breath cycles. So again, if you can get your hips slightly elevated, that will allow it to be a little bit more of an inversion. Even just like a folded sweatshirt, making it relatively flat would work too. Just something to float the pelvis. And as you come into that unsupported legs up the wall, go ahead and let your eyes close here. Just return the focus to your breath. Starting to slow the breath down and deepen it once again. Thinking about how your yoga practice maybe helps to support taking care of yourself and self-care. And then maybe thinking of ways to support others. Lengthening the breath a little bit further, and then when you're ready, slowly coming out of this pose. So gently bringing your legs down, maybe hugging the knees in towards the chest one last time. Then start to make your way into your final Shavasana. Legs will be outstretched, arms tucked underneath you, shoulder blades walked in. Palms are up towards the ceiling. Take a cleansing breath. Inhale completely through the nose. Allow your ribcage to fully expand. Pause briefly, appreciating the ability to take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, release the breath completely through your mouth. Return to a normal one-to-one breath without effort, with ease. Allowing your eyes to close or lowering your gaze. Allow the ground to support you. Take a moment of gratitude for this time, for your practice today. Remember, as you leave your mat, to be kind to yourself. start to bring any movement back. Call to mind one thing that you're grateful for. A thing or a person, an experience. Bring that into your heart. Start to breathe a little bit deeper. Choose a side to roll over onto. I'm just pausing briefly there.